Welcome back to Footballology. So this is going to be my setup for now. If you guys like the old one, let me know what you think in the comment section below. But I'm kind of starting to feel this one, tinkering with it a little bit more, and I'm starting to kind of, I don't know, it looks a little bit better, I guess. But that's not what we're here for. What we're here for is that it's official that there will be no preseason games. Now, as you guys know, if you watch my channel, that I'm a big fan of the late round draft picks, the undrafted guys, the guys that really pretty much have a slim chance of making an NFL roster. But with the NFL preseason and NFL training camps, these guys get that true chance to actually go in and really establish themselves and hopefully make the 53-man roster. Worst case scenario, make the practice squad and then hopefully have a chance next year. But this year, no preseason, and that this is something that the NFLPA and that the players have been pushing for years now. They wanted to get rid of the preseason. I know the owners want to extend the regular season, so it was kind of like a compromise. Like, okay, we'll get rid of the preseason, but you guys got to allow us to have more regular season games. And I think now with this whole COVID situation, it's going to give the players an opportunity to really see what it's like not having a preseason. Me personally, from my perspective, from a fan perspective, first of all, I'm kind of mad, obviously. But, I mean, that's, I guess, for the players, more or less, for the player safety, that makes sense. But I think from a team standpoint, it really hurts the team. Now, coaches don't have a chance to put in game plans, really kind of test things out. The exhibition games and the preseason games really gave really gave coaches that opportunity to really see what they had on their roster, but at the same time, really give them opportunity to explore their playbook. And then also you have preseason games where a lot of assistant coaches or assistant head coaches or whoever would actually call the whole entire game while the head coach really kind of stepped back and kind of gave them pointers. So we kind of lose that teaching aspect as well for the coaches. So I really just don't like this idea at all. I don't think it's a good idea at all. And then on the flip side, because of the COVID situation, you would think that they would at least want one. The idea of having two preseason games makes sense to me, but at least have one preseason game where you would allow yourself to really kind of understand the ins and outs. Because now it's like, okay, what if we get to the point where a lot of states are saying, okay, stadiums can allow 25% capacity or whatever the may be, and you can actually have fans in the stadium. Now, how do we go along with that whole process of getting fans in the stadium? That's going to be a really hot mess. Also, players testing, players coming into the game. What do we do at halftime? This stuff, I think that the preseason, once again, because it is a dress rehearsal for everybody, for the referees, for the players, for the coaches. Now, you could have used the preseason game as well for a COVID dress rehearsal. How do we want the regular season to look instead of now we're going to be rushing for the next month or so? Hopefully, we got a plan in place. We don't know if it's going to work or not, but hopefully, we got a plan in place that can ideally be safe for both the players, the referees, and the coaches on the sideline. I mean, because you think about the NFL sideline, there's no spacing, there's no gapping, there's no nothing. Like, players are on top of players, coaches are on top of coaches, and so everyone's just kind of mixed up on the sideline. The sideline isn't that big. Then you got guys that have to stand so far back off the sideline. You guys know. So it's like, I think the idea of not having a preseason game is very detrimental to the whole entire situation. Not only just from a development standpoint of teams and players or coaches, but also from the whole, like, how do we handle this COVID situation when it comes game time? Because we don't have travel now. We don't, players are going to be on the field. Like, how is that going to work? Like, it's just, there's too many questions to not have a preseason game where you can at least say, let's run a test run or a test trial just to see if we have it down to a science. Even if you were to like, hey guys, we're going to play one quarter and this is what it's going to do. We just really want to understand this COVID situation and then see if we can actually allow the coaches and the players to be safe while still putting out a good product. And I think the lack of preseason is just it's really going to make the regular season nasty. It's going to make the regular season ugly as hell, and I'm not ready for an ugly regular season. You guys know this for a fact. Preseason and probably the first week, maybe 2 weeks of the season, of the regular season, we see a lot of sloppy football. Defenses are kind of playing a little bit better than offenses because offenses haven't really gained their rhythm yet. Defenses are kind of like, hey, we can just run, jump, tackle, and that's all we really got to do. I mean, we know our schemes for the most part. So we're going to see a lot of sloppy football for like the first 3 to 4 weeks of the season. And you would think that NFL will want to try to prevent that. And I know the NFLPA is just going to preach safety. But if I was the NFL, I would have flipped it and say, hey, what about our COVID situation? Like, we still have to practice something. We still have to figure out something. Let's put a plan in place. Even if we were to run 1 week, let's put a plan in place to see if we can at least have something to, make sure the players are still safe and just really that everyone's comfortable actually doing what they're supposed to be doing. I'm really sad because now we're running even longer without football, and this is what we're gonna have to wait for. We're gonna have to wait for this schedule, And this week one, I mean, week one schedule is still nice. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. But it just sucks because now we're just going to have to wait that much longer just for a little bit of football action. And we don't really get to see training camp. Like, we don't really get to visit training camps. This is all bad, in my personal opinion. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys like the idea of no preseason? Do you feel like it's the best way to go? Like I said, for the players and from the player standpoint, I completely understand it. I really do. I'm not being one of those like selfish fans like, ooh. Like, no, I completely understand it. I just think that from the COVID situation, worst case scenario, the COVID situation, can we at least try to kind of practice or have a dress rehearsal for as far as what we're going to do as players driving to the stadium and referees driving to the stadium and coaches staff driving to the stadium and, you know, the locker room, what is it like we need that. We need those dress rehearsals. You would think that they would want those dress rehearsals. If anything, I mean, even if we don't go to the field, at least have those things in place. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And if you're not a footballologist yet, I don't know what you're waiting on. Go and subscribe to the YouTube channel today and become a footballologist. And stay safe, football fans.